everyone and welcome to e-sipnayan. So for today's video, we're going to be discussing changing numerical forms involving fractions, decimal, and percent. But before anything else, please don't forget to like and subscribe to e-sipnayan so that you can be updated with our new videos. So hopefully at the end of this lesson, you will be able to illustrate equivalent forms of fractions, decimal, and percent. Now we start with changing fractions into decimal. So to change a fraction into a decimal, all you have to do is to divide the numerator by the denominator. Now for example, we have 6 over 10. Now recall that 6 is our numerator and 10 is our denominator. Now, if we are computing manually or with a pen and a paper, the easiest thing to do first is to get the lowest term of 6 over 10, which is 3 over 5. And then we divide 3 by 5, which we get 0.6. So this is how we change a fraction into a decimal. Now, if we are to change a fraction into a percent, all we have to do is to multiply the decimal equivalent of that fraction to obtain the percent form. Now, earlier we have 6 over 10 and we know that it is equivalent to 0.6. Now, if we are to change 0.6 into a percent, all we have to do is to multiply 0.6 by 100 and we will obtain 60%. Now, changing a decimal into a percent, either we multiply it with 100 or we move the decimal point twice to the right. So earlier we have 0.6. Now, the other option is to multiply it by 100 and we get 60%. The other option is to move the decimal point twice to the right, like this one. Now, if you move it twice to the right, and as you can see, we have a blank space there, we just need to add 0 and then we have 60% here as an equivalent to 0.6. Now in changing decimal into fraction, we divide a denominator in multiples of 10 depending on the number of decimal places needed to get a whole number. So for example, we have 0.55. Now, for 0.55 to be considered a whole number, we have to move the decimal point twice to the right. So with the steps given with us, we have to divide 0.55 with a denominator in multiples of 10. Now since we move the decimal point twice to the right, we divide 55 with 100. So choosing the denominator here would be easy because all you have to do is to count the number of decimal places needed to move it, and it is corresponding with the number of zeros that you need in the denominator. So if you move this once, we have to divide it by 10. If we move this twice, we have to divide it by 1000. Now here we have 55 over 100. Now, getting its lowest term, which is 11 over 20. This is the final fraction equivalent to 0.55. As for changing percent into decimal, earlier we multiplied 100 or moved it twice to the right. Now in this case, we only need to do the opposite. So instead of multiplying, we divide by 100 or we move the decimal point twice to the left. So for example, I have 2.3%. I disregard the percent sign and then I'll be moving the decimal point twice to the left and then adding 0 here. The decimal equivalent of 2.3% is 0.023. While changing percent into fraction, we disregard the percent sign and then we divide the given number by 100 and then simplify. For example, I have 2.3%. I'll be disregarding the percent sign and then I'll be dividing this by 100, getting its lowest term, which is 23 over 1000. So this is how we change a percent into a fraction. So that ends our discussion for today. I hope that you learned a lot and see you soon in our next e-sipnayan video. Thank you!